8.01 miles, 7 minutes, 6 seconds per mile. Having a great day out there. I came home from work and then changed, and then I was gonna go run and pick up the girls directly after the run. So not exactly a run commute, but kind of like it. So that's why I had my Nathan pack on today. I wanted to have an extra layer for after the run, and also I had to carry the epi that my daughter needs, that we always have to have around for her because of her peanut allergy. But I was feeling really good out there. I wasn't intending for today to be a little bit of a faster workout, but I was running miles relatively quickly. Felt just amazing on the back half. May have had a little bit of wind to help me along the way as well, but running on average some 7-minute miles and a little bit under that for the last 2 miles or so of the run today. It turns out that's going to be, I think, probably my last and only real workout in between the Chicago Marathon, which was 2 weeks ago, and the Indianapolis Marathon, which is going to be 2 weeks ahead. Now, originally, I didn't plan on running 2 marathons in about a month span. That's just the way that things end up working out, and I'm happy about it. I'm very excited to be running another marathon. I'm going to be running with my running buddy. We still haven't figured out pace yet, but in terms of that, I am just going to run with him and kind of pace him wherever he wants to be at. Hopefully I can be at that spot as well. Since the last time I kind of talked about what we're going to be doing for Indy, the Chicago automatic qualifying standards changed. So now I think for my age group, I have to be 3 hours and 10 minutes, which is not something that I have in me for 2018. So that's not a consideration anymore. That was something I'd maybe been thinking about when it was 3:15. I am a little bit worried that I haven't had like a big mileage day. 10 miles is I think the longest, or 10 and a half miles or so is the longest that I've run, and I ran that maybe last week in between the 2 marathons. So it's not like my body's gonna forget, but I just from a self-confidence perspective, I am worried that I didn't have like a 15 or a 20-mile run in between the 2 marathons. And so I'm thinking maybe if I have time, I'll try to get in a half marathon just to keep my mind confident in terms of what my body can do. But I'm also worried about being banged up heading in. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to take a full 2-week marathon. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a full 2-week taper or bridge that a little bit, since I kind of had a recovery and no real ramp up. So there's not really too much to taper from. And so I'm kind of having like a really long recovery period. And that's pretty much it between the two marathons. I mentioned that I was having a little bit of a problem with my right foot. Some of you have suggested that it's a Morton's neuroma. You may or may not be right. I'm not going to go and see a doctor about it. I've been just having some relaxed runs, usually running about 6 or 7 miles a day, trying to keep it at whatever pace my body kind of felt like going. Running in the Epic Reacts, which a lot of you have commented on, that I've been running in those a lot lately. And I've been running in those mainly because I want to get to 270 miles on those. And it's a pretty relaxed shoe, a little bit roomier in the toe box than some of the other shoes that I've been kind of race day prepping for. It's been comfortable and surprising. Final thoughts on that coming up in a video very soon, I think tomorrow, because I will have hit 270 miles of them or very close to it today. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more. In terms of my foot, that seems to be doing fine. The other place where I get a little bit of kind of overuse or nagging injuries as the mileage gets to a point where my body thinks it's high is in my back of my right heel. Sometimes it feels a little bit tender. It's kind of all around the perimeter of it, and sometimes in the mornings when I wake up, that area will feel really tender. That's something that I usually feel when the mileage gets high and I'm nearing the end of a life of a shoe, which I am. And so I've been feeling that a little bit lately. I did end up icing my foot a little bit, that in the heel area. I usually don't normally ice many things, but my daughters are obsessed with ice packs. Anytime they bump an elbow, jam a finger, step on a toe, anytime any little things happen, they always rush to the freezer and grab the ice packs. We have one of those freezers that are low to the floor so that they can open the freezer themselves. Sometimes as they open the freezer, the door will stub them in the toe, and then they'll need 2 ice packs. But they had one out already, and the baby was sitting in my lap, and she had one on her finger, and then she instantly said she didn't want it. And so I tried it on, and actually it felt really good. So when I woke up in the morning, I felt I didn't have kind of that weird thing in the heel. So icing is maybe something that's I'll try, and it makes me think that maybe that tenderness that I'm feeling is just inflammation. And so something that I'll be looking into. Inflammation for the wintertime is something that I'll be thinking a lot about, especially as we get to colder weather and joints take a little bit more of a beating, or they take the same amount of beating. It just seems like they're taking more beating because I can feel it more. So that's what I've got going on in there. And so as we hit to the taper, I like a 2-week taper. I think a 3-week taper is too long. I think that because the ramp up wasn't so big for this marathon training session, because it was mostly recovery time, I'm gonna try to get one half marathon or at least 10 miler in there, get a little bit more distance in, and then kind of do the same thing that I've been doing, relatively relaxed to moderate paced, medium or shorter runs as we get there, just to keep the legs moving, just keep everything fresh. And then I'll really think about making sure everything's rested and kind of flushed out the final week as we get to the marathon. But so next week will kind of be like a hybrid mix of taper / recovery / build. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm in new territory here. I've never run 2 marathons in a year before, let alone in a month. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to just play it by ear. I'm going to go by what my body feels like it needs, what my mind thinks it needs. But, you know, when the two are conflicting, which sometimes they are, often they are, I'm probably going to tie goes to body, and we'll listen to that. I'd rather be kind of under-prepared long run-wise getting into the marathon than over-prepared. So name of the game is getting out there, have a good time, run with my friend, and not get injured. So that'll be a good way to kind of close out the racing season for me. And so I'm really looking forward to that race. Today's charity runner for today is Ben. Ben is out of England, and he is running to raise awareness for autism. Ben, he has 2 kids. Both of them are on the autism spectrum, and he's been running for charity for a long time, running to raise awareness for autism, starting with half marathons, and now he's really upped his game. He's doing the 10 in 10, which is an insane gauntlet of 10 marathons in 10 days. I'm talking about 2 in a month. He's going to do 10 in 10 days, which I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around, but he's going to do that starting in April 19th, 2019, and ending the 10th marathon being the London Marathon. Unbelievable. He's got a huge fundraising goal that he's got to hit. He's been one of the people that was kind of the impetus for this whole daily charity runner thing, because he had reached out to me months ago, and I just didn't know how I could really help him. And so I'm glad to spotlight him and put his fundraising links in the description. Go and at least read his story, and if you would consider donating, I would really appreciate that. I still need also more charity runners, and so this is a real thing. I know it sounds weird or fake, but I'm looking to support a different charity runner every day. I'll at least give you $5, and hopefully you can spread awareness for your fundraising goals by being on the channel as well. And hopefully for you that are not charity runners but are watching, we can all help give back to the community and give back to the sport that's giving us all so much. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.